And we're live.
Are we really already?
I think so.
Is that purposeful?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're live.
Hi, everybody. I'm just looking up the origin of the word sidekick because, honestly, it's gone on too many years trying to fool people into thinking it makes sense when it does not. What's up?
I just thought I got the notification that we're live. It does say live. Oh, there's a person. Hello.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten a notification as well, but...
I didn't get a notification, but that's okay. Somebody said something, so... Let me tweet it.
Okay, the kick was the front side pocket of a pair of trousers. Was found to be the pocket. Oh, okay. So the pocket sidekick became an inseparable companion. He must have kicks in the side or otherwise ignore the charismatic hero, one of the earliest. Okay. So basically, the term sidekick, if I'm getting this correct, and don't quote me on anything about this.
Do it. Quote.
But the term, but quote everything I'm about to say. The term sidekick comes from pickpocket slang, which okay, so this originated because I was saying how I never thought it was sidekick. I always thought it was like Robin is Batman's sidekick because that's actually a word that makes sense to me. But anyway, this is when I was a child, not like recently. We have a channel called the Nerd Sync Sidekick, so obviously I know what the term sidekick is. I'm not trying to defend myself, but anyway, I only bring that up because I was going to say the term originates from pickpocket slang, which I, when I was a kid, thought was pit pocket. You know, like, you're a pit pocketer. Because when you pick their pocket, like, you leave an empty pit because you steal everything that's out of it. That's what we call in the business an eggcorn. You know eggcorns?
No.
Eggcorns are misunderstandings that actually do make sense. So, like, for example, they're called eggcorns because the correct word is acorns. But the person who founded them, like one of their students, I think they were a teacher, one of their students was like telling them that there's squirrels eating eggcorns out there. And I'm like, what do you mean acorns? Like, no, they're like the things that are kind of like small little tree eggs. So there's a whole. I encourage everyone to Google eggcorns because there are a billion of them that I'm sure that we use some in our just talking. Anyway, to get back to the main point, sidekick comes from pickpocket slang because the front side pocket is one of the hardest to steal from. It's one of the most safely guarded, trickiest to steal from. So they had people called sidekicks who would come in. That pocket was called the kick. That's why.
Oh, okay.
So they would have sidekicks who would also help them out. There would be like a companion that would try to get into that pair of get into people's pants, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now we know. What a fun term.
What a fun boy.
Thanks for watching another episode of Alter Ego. Subscribe to Nerd Sync. Why have we never done that one on the show? That's such a simple one.
I do have corn dogs. I'm gonna make some for Scotty Boy here.
Egg
later.
corn dogs?
No.
Let me look up some common egg corns.
Save it for the podcast.
Really? Are we going to have an egg corn episode?
I don't know. Your call. I'm looking up the generator right now. Have you been using the same one every time?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm trying to do a different one every time, too.
I wish they would just give me a list. Where can I find a list?
That's stupid. This one tells you to put in the names yourself.
The Eggcorn database.
That's your phone.
I got retweeted by comedian Terry Jones. I don't know who that is, but that's their name, and apparently they're a big deal. Because why else would they alert me about it? Comedian, actor, nerdy ass dude. Seen on a bunch of other stuff that I've never heard of. Okay. Nice, dude. Thanks.
Now it won't peak when I get real close.
Yay.
Can't wait for it.
Here's a classic eggcorn. Alzheimer's being called old timers disease.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard someone call it old timers?
No.
It's like when you're a kid, the word Alzheimer's doesn't make that's nonsense.
Yeah.
But you know that old people get it. So you're like, "Oh, it's old timers
Alzheimer's.
disease." That makes sense to me.
That's funny. Okay. Did I write it on the above line or the underline?
Let's see. It's an example of one that makes
one.
sense even though it's false. Or not really false, but just incorrect. Let's see here.
For those of you that don't know what's going on, Scott
My
and I
eye
have
is
a
twitching
podcast.
real bad.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, go for
Scott and I have a podcast called The Online Podcast. Launches next Wednesday. So next week. I don't know if we said that before.
it. No, we have never put a date on it, but that's when it
February
is.
1st, 2017.
February 1st.
But yeah, so we record them live. We didn't record episode 4 live because we were both real tired and didn't want to set up. But you know, we're recording them live. So basically, what's gonna happen is this is a pre-show right now, when we talk to you guys and stuff. And then when we hit record, we're gonna minimize the chat, and we won't see anything you're saying for the next like 30, 40 minutes. And then we'll be a post-show where we just wrap up with you guys. But
Mm-hmm.
so if you want to ask us stuff, do it now before we peace out.
Woo! What's your favorite egg corn?
One time, I took her collar off and she immediately thought it was a toy.
Wait, hold on. Is this really one that I've been saying wrong? Oh my god. Dylan, if you have... I'm going to try to say this word.
You trying to get me to say the egg corn?
No, I'm going to try to say it in a way that you don't know if I'm saying the real one or the egg corn.
Mm-hmm.
It's off by one letter. But, like, if I hate you so much, I have deep-seated hate for you. How do you spell that? Deep-seated. Is it seed or is it seat? Like
I would
sitting
think
or
seat, but it's
planting?
seed.
So you say it
I would
is
say
seat?
Yeah.
It is seat.
Oh, okay.
But deep-seated hate also makes sense, and I feel like I've been saying that my entire life.
Oh, no, I've always said deep-seated. I feel like I'm just smarter than Scott.
No! What is it, like, deep-seated hate? It's buried so deep within you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
What's happening in chat? Apparently you look like a hipster, and you're also someone's hero.
Why do I look like a hipster? I'm just wearing a jacket.
You just inherently.
Oh, okay.
Wanda.
I think we're all hipsters. Deep down.
She's naked. No one look at her.
We have a deep-seated hipster.
Deep-seated.
Hipster bias.
There is a cat.
Mm-hmm.
She's currently playing with her collar because I took it off because it makes noise. We don't want that.
I don't want to meet a person who says explanation point when it's exclamation point. If that's a common one, I hate that. Oh boy. Oh,
Not
it's
really
an
an egghorn, but when people say, I could care less.
I do say that I could care less because there are many situations where I genuinely could care less. I don't care a lot, but I could care less.
Boy, it's not the same.
I can make it whatever I want it to be. I understand that it's couldn't care less, but when I'm saying it, I'm a person that like at least cares a little bit about you. So if I'm like, that's why I say I could care less. I care very little, but it could be worse.
Oh, God.
She is like, what are you doing to
I'm
her?
trying to put her in this chair. There you go.
Oh boy.
My cat loves me, guys. It's fine.
Flying a flag half-mast or half-mast.
It's mashed.
That's correct.
Did you think it was MASH?
No.
Okay, good.
I've listened to Hamilton.
wait.
We're gonna fly
yeah.
a lot of flags, half-mast.
Raise a glass.
Free reign. This is a spelling one.
REIGN?
That's the false one.
Oh.
It is REIN, like reigns of a horse,
Oh.
not reigns of like over a kingdom.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but they both make sense. Having free reign,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I love about Eggcorns. They make sense, except for explanation points. Doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe people just get really... They exclaim when they explain.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I'll stop talking about these. That was a good one.
How'd you like that, guys?
I bet you hated that. I've got nuts I could munch on too to make it all nice and worse.
The Asmer episode. Boop. Are you guys getting drunk? Not really. Scott is.
No, it's not drunk. It's just a Mike's Hard Lemonade. It's a long story. We bought them for like a party night, and then it never happened.
It got canceled.
So every time I come over, I just have one
Yeah.
because we just have to deplete them somehow.
I don't drink, so they're just kind of sitting in my fridge.
I hate
like
I hate the taste of alcohol, but these are like masked enough that there's barely anything in here.
It's like 5% or something. Oh, sorry. They're reacting to the Asmer now.
To the what?
ASMR.
Oh. Do you call it asthma?
Sometimes. It's easier.
I thought you were saying asthma.
No, Asmer.
The asthma episode.
The Asmer episode.
That's a classic Eggcorn right there.
Asmer. Alright. How many people we got watching? Did you retweet it? Yeah, you did. I saw it.
Mhm.
That's literally the notification I was just missing.
Here's one that I didn't learn until a couple years back.
Hmm.
Haphazard is just a word in and of itself. I thought it was like half-hazard.
Haphazard?
Mm-hmm.
I never heard haphazard before.
Well, it's a PH, so haphazard.
It's just haphazard. You idiot.
I've definitely heard people say haphazard.
Idiot. I'm sorry. I'm just a rude dude. You can't control my rudeness.
All right.
My rude dudeness. Rudeness, tootiness. You want to start this podcast?
Sure.
Anything you want to say to the people before we start it? Cool. Alright, guys, we're going to go away and start the podcast now, so
I should have brought up the comments so that I could see them. And how many people are here?
like 10.
Okay.
It's my channel, so not a lot. I feel like somehow the Sidekick channel gets more viewers, even though it has way less subscribers. Anyway,
Who knows?
I'm going to start recording.
Okie dokie.
We're recording.
Oh, here's a great one.
Okay.
Lactose intolerant means I can't eat bread or dairy. I can't lactose. No, that's such a silly one.
Alright.
Well, no, there are two. There's lactose and tolerant. So I can't eat bread, but I'm very tolerant about it. Or there's lactose intolerant, which is also just incredibly wrong.
Sorry, I'm just making a note to cut out what just happened.
Nope. Leave it in.
Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another enthralling, exciting episode of your favorite podcast,
Tell them what that podcast is called, Dylan.
Carriage Fingertip Bags.
Mm-hmm. What?
Carriage Fingertip Bags.
I don't know even how to begin to address that one.
So, you ever been in a situation where, like, you've got this big, bulky bag?
Oh, of course, every day of my life.
Right, and you just don't want to deal with it.
No.
And your hand is, like, real tired for
Yeah.
some reason.
It's like because the bag's resting on my fingertips.
Well, no.
No, okay.
Your bag's resting on the palm of your hand.
Oh, sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
fingertip bags, they solve that issue.
All right.
So you know how you have like those shoes that they got toes?
Yeah, most do.
No.
No. Okay.
Like the shoes that make you look like an asshole.
Oh yes,
When
the
you
ones
wear
that
them?
actually shape around your individual
Yeah.
toes.
That's
Gotcha.
what the fingertip bags are,
Mhm.
but for your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like the strap, but it has fingertip holes,
Mhm.
and you stick your
And
fingertips.
this helps
in
in
there.
some capacity.
Yeah, because then you have the carriage part.
Okay.
The carriage part, it automates the fingertip holding.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them on, and then a carriage wraps them around,
This
and
is.
you're good to go.
This sounds like an incredibly
And it's-
absurd way to do anything.
It's no work on your part.
Sure.
You're just good to go, 24/7.
Fantastic. Is this like a service or is this a good?
No, it's a good.
Okay.
You buy it, and then the service, it does the service itself. That's the carriage part.
Okay. Edit that out.
Leave all of this in.
Yikes. Well, I really want you to stop.
Carriage fingertip bags. Get 'em
Carriage
at your-
fingertip
at your
bags.
local Costco.
You buy them in bulk.
You
That's
have
right.
to. There's
You
no
think
other
you can
way.
get by with just one? You can't get by with just one.
No, you need many. Because
Mhm.
if I'm being honest, they kind of break a lot.
They're essentially disposable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you ever go to a grocery store like a Kroger,
Mm-hmm.
they have them there.
Oh, okay.
You get them for free at the checkout.
Oh, that's very convenient.
I'm gonna level with you here.
Mm-hmm.
They're no different than normal bags.
Oh no.
No, they're
Not
just
even-
branded down.
Well, you know what? That's capitalism right
The
there.
carriage, it's a placebo.
The carriage is a placebo.
The carriage is a placebo.
I did not see that one coming.
It's not even there.
Hey, Dylan, can I ask you a question?
What?
What are we talking about right now?
Carriage fingertip bags.
Fantastic. Can we move off of that by any
No.
chance? All right.
It's the whole podcast.
No, it is not.
Why not?
Hi, everyone.
This is something I'm passionate about. Welcome to my Kickstarter for carriage fingertip bags. Fine, do your
Last
podcast,
year
Jordan.
we
we're doing the
introduced.
bit now.
Yep.
We're doing the bit now. No, this bit's dead. We're moving on. I'm Dylan. Welcome to the online podcast.
I'm Scott. I'm also here.
No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's conferencing in from Kroger.
I'm the on-scene reporter, the on location.
Yeah, for carriage fingertip bags.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it's our 5th episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're just gonna release these linearly now.
Sure. Why not?
Wasn't the plan at the start,
No.
but so I'm sorry, but your favorite bit of us trying to cover up what time these podcasts is recorded at, it's dead. You're not gonna hear it anymore.
No.
So sorry to say that.
Although they were recorded, some of them like months apart.
Yeah.
For the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, let's see. I didn't put dates. I should put dates on here.
You should start now.
I have a notebook that I write down notes for editing
Mm-hmm.
in. And I have all of the episodes except the first one because I didn't get the notebook.
And I have to say as well, it's the book that we close at the end of each episode, right?
Yeah.
When he writes in it while we're doing the episodes, and it's almost as if he's interviewing himself and like taking notes.
Yeah, I can see that. What's today? Let's see. I'll check my
25th.
Apple Watch.
25th.
25th. It's Christmas, guys.
Yep, we never said which date.
January.
wait.
Which
We
date?
never said which month.
I-
We never said the full date.
2017.
Well, now they know the year.
I also said January.
Ah, fair enough.
That's fine. It's January. It's a nice Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that, of when we want to record the podcast every week.
Wednesdays seem like a good day.
Yeah.
I think. Not really. It's a
No,
pretty busy day
I
for me.
figured. I realized that when I
But
came
I
to
could
pick
make
you
it
up.
work. I could make it work. It would actually make me work better if I knew that we
Okay.
had a specific day and time that we were gonna.
I figured we would need to once we get the first 5 episodes up, because then we have to get one out every week.
Yeah.
So, and should we also see, that's going to be the difficult part because we're releasing all 5 on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to release and record on a Wednesday?
Oh, and like be a week ahead of schedule.
So like what we would do a little behind the scenes here.
Mm-hmm.
So next Wednesday we would release the first 5, and then also record number 6.
I'm trying to
No,
real
you're good.
discreetly snack. All right, and then here comes Dylan with the ice cup. Oh God! I hate
Yeah,
all
so
of this.
we would. You're still icing my mouth. All right, I've made no notes. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yep.
We would we would release the first 5 next Wednesday, which is February 1st, and then we would record episode 6 then. So then the following week we would release 5 and record 7, and then I think that would give us 1 week. So if we just can't record for whatever reason, we would still have a podcast to put up, I think.
Sure.
So I think that could work
That could work.
if we stay true to it.
Let's do that.
Mhm.
Tell me, Dylan.
What's up?
Do we have a topic that we're supposed to be discussing today?
No.
No.
This is a conversational podcast. We go in blind and we come out strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's our tagline. The online
Now,
podcast.
correct me if I'm wrong. That is the original tagline to the Netflix Daredevil show.
That's really good. We go in blind and we come out strong. Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of what we were talking about off mic earlier. Earlier, I was trying to find a picture of Joe Quesada,
Mm-hmm.
who's a very silly-looking man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, he's the kind of guy who looks like his face is a balloon that's constantly being inflated to the point where any minute it could pop. I found one article. I don't know how long ago it was. It was obviously way before all the Netflix Defender stuff, but it was the headline was something like Joe Quesada laughs at the idea of Iron Fist and Punisher. So that made me feel like either he was just trying to play it cool, like, no, we don't have an Iron Fist or Punisher coming up in these Netflix shows, or what I really hope to be true is that he genuinely is kept out of the loop on every Marvel thing,
Mm-hmm.
even though he's supposed to be pretty close, like, to all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really hope they never tell him anything until the last minute. Like, he's one of those people where an Iron Fist trailer will leak online, and he'll be like, or not even leak online, just, like, genuinely come out officially, and he'll be like, hey, guys,
Are we doing this?
did I...
Yeah,
Is
Joe.
there an email that I should have gotten? Or-
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I mean,
We took you off the mailing list when you, like, caused Spider-Man to fall down a hole or something.
ooh, this sounds like a personal vendetta.
we just cut you off, dude. You don't even work for us anymore. We just don't have the heart to tell you.
Remember that one time in, like, the 90s, early 2000s, when you had frosted tips for some reason?
For some reason, it was in style, dude.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, we just can't get that image of you out of our heads, so,
Everyone hates you.
yeah.
I want to meet the one guy who still has frosted tips.
Mm-hmm.
Just see where he is in life.
Yeah.
Like, what's he up to?
Like, it's an older gentleman at this point.
Yeah.
With frosted tips.
What if JT, the Timberlake himself, went back to the frosted tips?
Man.
What do you think would happen?
I think... Ooh, that's a good call. Because part of me's like, I wonder if everyone would just accept it,
Yeah.
or if people would think it's a joke at first, and be like, he's
He's joking around.
yeah, he's calling back to his roots.
Got him.
He's calling back with his roots with those tips. But I don't know. I don't know if he genuinely wanted to go for it.
Because I feel like fashion is cyclical.
Yeah.
So eventually we will have frosted tips again.
I also think that there are certain looks that we consider to be timeless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like a nice button-up shirt and a tie and maybe like a sweater or something like that. That's a nice timeless look.
I feel like guy fashion hasn't changed a lot.
Sure. But when we say that it's timeless, obviously there was a time before that where everyone thought maybe that's a ridiculous look to it. So I'm wondering, hear me out. Do you think frosted tips will become timeless?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
The world would definitely be a better place. That's for sure.
The frosted tips? You're a young boy.
I was
so
like
you didn't-
3.
You weren't surviving during that time.
No. I think I vaguely remember my mom telling me that she wanted to give me Frosted Tips.
When you were 3.
Not like, no. She told me this later, but at the time. Well, yes, when I was 3, she wanted to give me Frosted Tips, but she didn't tell me that when I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
She told me that years later.
That's fascinating. I had, I was growing up in that era. I was in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was obsessed with specifically Xenon
Hell yeah.
and Protozoa, the pop star
Protozoa.
of that series. And he had this crazy spiked hair.
Hell yeah, he did.
And I loved that so much. And I was also inspired by another Disney movie. This is why I need to start a Disney movie podcast. All about... I was inspired by the movie, I think it was called Luck of the Irish.
Oh, hell yeah.
Great movie.
That movie's weird.
It's so good, though. And he, like, as soon as he starts to be... Because, just FYI, like, he starts to become more Irish. Does he become a leprechaun?
He's turning into a leprechaun over the course of the movie.
So his hair becomes slightly more orange throughout the movie.
Yes.
Anyway, so I was inspired by both Protozoa's crazy hair and whoever the main character of Luck of the Irish is, his orange hair. And I was like, I just want color in my hair. So there's this thing, this product called Spiker Color. It was basically hair gel that you could use to style your hair, but it also had color in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you would leave color in your hair. Yeah.
Did it work?
It did not.
Okay.
When you had hair as dark as mine, and I had all sorts of crazy colors. I had stuff that was supposed to look like Frosted Tips.
Mm-hmm.
I had orange, right? Because again, and
Luck of the Irish.
I just want to be clear about something. They were not like matte, flat colors. They were glittery colors.
No.
They were shiny colors.
Wait, what was this called?
This is called Spiker Color. They did have flat matte. I think my Frosted Tip versions were just flat, but I had an orange that was like it was less orange. It was more copper. Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah. Is it spelled differently than you expected?
It's not called Spiker Color.
Oh.
It's called Spiker Colors with a Z.
I'm sorry. I forgot which era of the world we existed in at this point in time.
Oh, you can still buy it on Amazon.
That's amazing. Look at that. That's what I
Whoa.
wanted it to be. I'm sure the formula's way better nowadays. Oh my god, I feel like that's the same picture they've been using for decades.
I don't think this is new. I think they're just still selling that. Well, you can get this one's on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for $15
That's
you can get.
definitely a new.
Yeah, this is new.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Hair Spiker Colors colored styling glue.
That's amazing. I also had a green one because
Of course.
my favorite color is green.
It's $15.
Yeah, they were not inexpensive.
Good lord.
Mhm.
One customer review. Hold on.
Let's read this guy. Let's see what he had to say.
5 stars. Just what I needed. It's a verified purchase from Tiffany Mullins or Timothy Mullins.
Timothy Mullins. I just imagine that's our guy. That's our guy who's still trying to make it happen. Timothy Mullins. Just what I needed.
He also bought A
you can
Moment's
review his
Loss
other-
of Identity.
Huh.
It's a song. Heavy emotive rock at its finest. This album represents a lot of things, including a sense of dread, fear, and anger towards the punches that life has thrown at these guys.
What is...
There's some seriously heavy emotions running throughout the course of this album.
Oh, Timothy.
Heavy emotive rock at its finest.
Oh, Timothy.
5 stars on October 15th.
What is life
2014.
dealt your way?
This is an edgy dude who just wants to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love that I can track his...
Yeah, for real. That's interesting.
I can see his public wish list, too.
What is our young Timothy want?
Just gift cards.
Just give cards to...
A Guitar Center gift card for $50.
Sure.
A Starbucks Holiday $25 gift card. Well, it's a little bit too late
Yeah,
for
a
that.
little bit. Huh.
And a GameStop gift card for $50. What do you think he's going to buy with those?
For all 3 of those things?
Yeah,
He's gonna get... Well, how much was the Guitar Center one?
$50.
Cannot buy an instrument for that.
No, it says 25 to 100,
Mhm.
but the actual listing is for 50.
So I'm wondering if that's him, like, going into Guitar Center and going, "Whew, yikes, too expensive. I'm gonna go to GameStop and pick up Guitar Hero." He seems like the kind
Oh.
of guy who would still play Guitar Hero.
Yeah, probably.
With those edgy, emotional songs or
Yep.
whatever it said. But and then Starbucks, I don't know. Just,
$50.
how much? Yeah, what can you get at Guitar Center for 50? Just a
That's what I'm
lot
trying to think of.
Picks.
Oh, you know what he's doing?
Hmm.
He's getting just too many chords. Just a lot of chords.
Just like tons of cables.
And he like wears them around his neck and stuff
Oh, rad.
as like a, like a scarf. He doesn't use scarves. He
course
uses
not.
XLR
What do
cables.
you think this isn't Timothy Mullins?
No, this is Timothy Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. And then he goes to Starbucks and he puts on sunglasses and a beanie and like a hoodie. And it's just so nobody can see that he's
Oh,
actually
boy.
going to Starbucks.
I just want you to know if you walked in there dressed exactly like that, I feel like they would call something.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want anybody to know that rock god Timothy Mullins shops at Starbucks. And then he goes into GameStop and bros out with
Yeah, dude.
and buys
Still
Guitar Hero probably. Yeah, it's probably just Guitar Hero.
Just a lot of Guitar Hero.
And maybe like a really edgy Funko Pop. He buys a Reaper Pop.
Like a
And that's
Kiss
it.
Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Do they even sell those at GameStop?
Do they have Kiss Funko Pops?
I am positive they do.
Let's check. I like how every podcast goes back to Funko Pops.
Yeah, and
Oh, they do.
Of course they do.
$40.
Well, how much was his gift card?
It was 50. I guess.
Dude, he's got this on lock.
Wild. Timothy Mullins.
What an amazing man.
What is he up to today, do you think? Because the last time we've heard from him was 2015 when he reviewed his Spiker Colors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's still out there?
So it's been a little over a year.
Mhm.
Right? We're barely into 2017. So I have to imagine he definitely ran out of Spiker Color by now.
Probably.
Probably within the first month.
Oh, I would say that night.
That night.
He used it all.
100%
Yeah.
of Spiker Colors.
He was
Now, what color
banking.
was it?
It was red, I think.
Okay.
He was banking on the Spiker Colors coming in
Mhm.
the night that he had to go out to party.
Oh.
And it got there.
And just what he needed
Mhm.
for the party.
Exactly. And he was ready, and he got his fingertip bag. He stuck
did.
everything he needed in there,
That's right.
and he went out the door.
Mm-hmm.
He was ready to club it up.
Yep, with that whatever album. I feel like he's the kind of guy that brings that one album.
Oh,
everywhere
for
he
sure.
goes.
He has like a cassette deck in his
Yeah.
car.
He like goes to a party and is like, "Hey, where's your stereo?" You know what I mean?
Where's he's the guy who asks for the aux cord every
That's what-
time.
Well, no, because he's got his own. That's why he went to Guitar Center,
Right,
because
that's what he got at
all
Guitar
those
Center. He
cables.
just constantly has cables.
That's why he does it. Because every party he goes to, they're like, "Oh no, we don't have the cord to."
Oh, I got it,
It's
dude.
everyone saying like, "We just don't want to listen to his music."
Yep.
Just come up with an excuse, and so he finally lost it, and he had to get all of the cables and cords he could think of, just to finally play that one song. What are you looking up now?
I'm heavily contemplating buying some Spiker Colors.
Yes. You will regret it, but it'll be a fun time.
What color should I get? They've got like the new ones that are expensive, and then what looks like the old ones with the edgy
Yes.
boys on them.
Those, yeah, I recognize those edgy boys anywhere.
Those are cheaper. So we've got blue,
All right.
we've got remix red, with a hyphen between the re and the mix and remix.
I love it.
We've got chill out blue.
I don't think I had any of them. I think my brother had blue.
I think this is just
I
red.
was not alone in this endeavor. Spiker colors in my household.
This is the one that Timothy bought. It's the red one.
Love it.
You've got silver. That's kind of the frosted tips look.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's called Psycho Silver.
Psycho silver.
Twisted copper.
Yeah. Oh, I had twisted.
You had
copper.
twisted copper.
That was my orange look.
What
'Cause
about?
it was shiny. See, I don't know if it shows you how shiny it is, but it's like got a little
Kinda.
shimmer to it.
Yeah.
You know.
We got metallics acid green.
I didn't have that one. I had more of a darker green.
Oh, they've got it for girls too.
That makes sense to me.
Trance purple. Tripped out pink. Oh, dude.
All of them are just TR words.
Oh, here's a gross yellow one. Let's see.
Ooh, that's probably the one I had.
Hazard yellow.
Oh, that sounds exactly like the one that I had.
Whoa, dude. It's got like a matrix font on it too.
So the problem is, if you have dark hair like me, the colors don't show up very well. So you end up having to use a lot. And by that point, your hair is just a helmet. And, you know, it is just rock solid and like if anyone tries to feel their.
That's the problem that Timothy had.
Yeah.
That's why he had to use it all.
That's right. I mean, look, they're you know, growing up, I used a ton of gel.
Mm-hmm.
I spiked my hair up like crazy.
Oh boy.
It was like before pomades were a big thing.
Yeah.
And so it was like just actual gel. That would make your hair crusty and gross. So if any potential girl at my school wanted to like touch my hair or like whatever, it would just it would like shave off their fingertips. It was horrible. And it made you look like you had dandruff because it would just be flaking all the time.
Oh.
Spiker Colors didn't.
Oh, just gel. Gotcha.
Yeah. Spiker Colors was a revelation. It's basically a pomade sort of thing.
So, I'm gonna buy this.
Woo! What color?
The cheapest one, Remix Red.
Nice.
Let's see here. What is this? Amazon doing a thing? That's fine. Yeah, so we're gonna do a video on my channel. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's put it on the Sidekick channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to put it on my channel. And if I didn't put it on my channel, it would just go on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Aurum.
Don't do that.
Why not?
I don't know.
Patreon.com/NerdSync.
Yeah, it confuses people. But anyway. Yes, I like this idea of red-haired Dylan. Who drinks, who makes lots of ice cup noises.
I got the confirmation email, guys. This is happening. How's your day been, Scott?
Busy.
Mm-hmm.
Busier than yours, I know, because you texted me earlier and were like, I'll let you know when I'm out of bed.
Listen,
Yeah.
I woke up at 2,
Mm-hmm.
as you do. PM, not AM.
Right.
And I did actually get out of bed before that because I went to pee. And then got back in bed and fell asleep for another half hour. And then I was like planning my day because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do today because I've finished all my immediate work for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, well, might as well record a podcast. So then I texted you and was like, well.
That's a rundown of Dylan's day.
That's
now
been my day.
Expect this to be told to you again, but more excitingly, as soon as he is Remix Red Dylan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give me a little sample of how Remix Red Dylan will talk.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Remix Dylan, coming at you with another exciting episode of How Was My Day?
I just want to be clear. Your name is Remix Redillon? Like,
yeah,
it even has an R in front of your name?
Yeah, it's R apostrophe Dylan.
Hello.
Redillon.
Remix Redillon.
That's the one. So yeah, that's coming at you.
You've already lost all energy.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Can we talk about my throat problem?
You have a throat problem?
Yeah, I've got a throat problem.
Well, I would love to hear about this.
Okay. I just gotta take a note real quick. See, the idea was that this book would not be intrusive at all to the podcast, but now everybody knows about it.
Right.
So, anyway, so for the past week and a half or so, my throat has been doing this weird thing where it hurts.
Like a sore throat?
Kind of. So it's weird because I've had sore throats before, and they just hurt constantly, and they hurt when I breathe or when I talk or do anything. That's like a normal sore throat or strep or something. But what's been happening to me this past week, and it's just now today, it started to get better, but whenever I would swallow or sneeze or yawn, there's this really sharp pain right here. I have no idea why, and it's been going on for a week, and it hurts real bad, and I don't know why.
So is it only getting worse, or
it just started at, let's say it started at an 8, and it's been at an 8 until today. Now it's at a 5.
All right. So you expect it to get better?
I think so. Yesterday it reached critical mass. I was like, it's been a week. I should probably go to the doctor. But then right today, it's oh, it's better now.
This is what because I have a lot of friends who aren't in America.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of friends who are in countries that have like free healthcare or
Yeah.
something like that. And so if they're sick, they'll just be like, okay, well, I'll just go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But when in America, you have to kind of think about it. You're like,
Yeah.
am I that sick?
Exactly.
I talked about this. I don't know if I've ever actually talked about this before, but like last year, I slipped in the shower and
Yep.
I definitely broke a rib.
Mm-hmm.
Like I 100% broke a rib. Everyone was saying, well, you'd know if you broke a rib because it would just hurt so badly. And I was like, no, I can survive. And the reason I was only saying I can survive and not, oh dear God, I broke a rib,
I broke a rib.
is because if I broke a rib, then I'd be like, well, now I feel like I have to go to the hospital. So I had to psych myself out of it. And I was like, my immediate first reaction was, oh, this is the most pain I've ever felt in my life. This is where I die. This is how I die. This is where people will find my dead body.
Oh no.
But then immediately I had to be like, I don't really have the money to go to a hospital.
Do you not have health insurance?
I'm sure I do.
I'm pretty sure you do.
But like also, so when I was a kid, this is what factored in.
Oh, okay.
I had appendicitis when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents always told me during that time, hey, if you are feeling like you need to go to the hospital, just tell us. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the insurance. Whatever, we'll figure it out. And I was like, and so like for days, I was like, no, I don't need to go to the hospital. I don't need to go to the hospital. And then finally, they were like, ow, listen, did it just happen?
Yep. I yawned. I kind of forced it to see if it was still happening.
Mm-hmm.
Also just spit everywhere, but we're good.
So finally, my parents were like, listen, just do you need to go to the hospital? It doesn't matter about the money. And I was like, yes, dear God, I need to go to the hospital. My appendix burst.
Oh no.
So we got that taken care of. But then immediately, like, as soon as I was home from the hospital, my parents were like, well, I don't know how we're going to pay for all these bills. And I was like, you said it would be fine. And so I've always internalized that in my head of, like, it doesn't matter if you have insurance. It doesn't matter if you, like, really need to go to the hospital. I always just think of, no, my parents are going to be real mad at me. So, yeah, smile through the pain.
There was a part of me a couple days ago where I wanted to ask my mom. I was going to be like, hey, what would it cost if I needed to go to the hospital? But then there was a part of me that was like, if I just say that out of context, she's going to freak out.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't say anything. I just waited.
Yeah.
And it's gotten slightly better.
And here's a fun story. Maybe an hour or two after I broke my rib, I was on Elseworlds Exchange.
Oh, no.
Prior to that, I had Sal on the podcast before.
Oh, yeah. Elseworlds Exchange is a podcast that Comic Pop's Sal and the comic book community on YouTube's Joel.
He doesn't belong to one person.
Caped Joel.
Yeah, they do that, and they invited me on. And so months before, maybe even a year or so before this, I was planning on having Sal on the Nerd Sync podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And but I had slept through it. So
Oh, no.
So he was like, I just got Skype messages from him being like, "Hey man, I'm here. You okay?" and he was like, "I'm gonna wait a little longer." Like he was very patient about it, and I woke up the next day feeling horrible.
Oh,
Because
no.
my plan was just to take a nap and then wake up, and my alarm didn't wake me up.
Mm.
So they invited me onto their podcast, and I broke a rib, and I was like, no excuses. I am doing this time. So I sat through it all, and I was in so much. So if you watch, because I had asked them to talk about a serious subject. I'd asked them to talk about like Civil War II and like pre-crime and all that stuff. And if you watch that episode again, you'll notice I barely participate because I am in so much pain.
Oh, God.
During that whole thing, and it was my topic, and I felt it just made me feel even worse. That I was like, I'm sorry that I'm making you guys talk about this, and I'm just sitting here trying not to cry.
Did you ever go to the hospital?
No,
It just got better?
I just got. Well, I mean, I googled like
Right.
how to fix it, and everyone told me, look, there's nothing a hospital can do, unless it's really bad, and like you have shards of
Yeah.
bone everywhere that you need to remove. But if it's just a broken rib, the best thing you can do is just ice it and wait.
I remember it was still hurting when we went to LA for the Civil War premiere.
It was, yeah.
How long was that after you broke it? I don't
That was
remember.
months after.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that was another thing because I tweeted about it when it happened, and everyone on Twitter was saying, "Look, I broke a rib too. It's never gonna feel 100% ever again."
Does it hurt like now still?
No.
Okay.
Which is why I will say right now, I do feel like it healed about 100%,
Yeah.
but it took a
It'll
real
never
long
be the same.
Yeah, you'll never be the same. I think it's the degree of which
Yeah.
it is too. But like for me, it took many months before I was 100%. I was at about 80% for a good portion. Like maybe it took 2 months till I was at 80%.
Yeah.
And it was like 6 months at 80% before I was finally at 100%.
That's how I felt this past week, where I was just like at 90%, and like a day into it, I was like, this is just my new normal.
Yeah.
Something happened to me, and it's not going back.
Mhm.
It's not reversing. Because normally when my throat hurts, 2 days into it, it turns into a cold. That's just how it happens for me, and I assume a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But it just didn't.
That's
No other symptoms developed.
That's what I over the holidays, every time I travel I get sick.
Mhm.
You know, so when I got back from Christmas, I immediately
You were sick for a while.
I was sick for a very long time.
Yeah.
When I get sick, I get sick. There are 2 points of every year where I get real sick, and that was one of them. So that's most likely going to happen again next time, next year, because it just always happens.
Yeah.
Like I think I got pneumonia or something, or just like something horrible.
Now I'm sick.
Now we're sick just talking about it.
Yep.
But yeah, my every year, like clockwork, my body just betrays me and just wants me dead. It's terrible.
I used to be the same way, where every Christmas, like on the dot, I would get a real bad raspy, like, what's it called? Like croup cough or something.
A Kupakov?
Coup de cra.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic egg.
Yep. But no, yeah, that would happen every year, and it was terrible.
Mhm.
Because everyone in school would hate me, because I would just cough so much, and the teachers thought I was faking it, because it just sounded fake, because it was so loud and it happened so frequently. But they would end up just sending me home because I was being annoying.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they would like I wouldn't do anything about it because I was like, yeah, it's fine, and they would just be like, go to the nurse, and then I would go to the nurse, and she would send me home, and I'd be like, well.
See, my parents never took me out of school when I was sick, right?
Mhm.
So they treated sick days like it was some sort of aging
Privilege?
brandy that you never wanted to open.
Oh.
You know? So it was like we got back in my elementary school and even middle school. I think we had 10 sick days. That's a lot of sick days.
Like a job?
Yeah, pretty much.
You had an amount of sick days?
Did you not?
No.
Really?
If you took a sick day, you had to make it up in some way, but you couldn't, like, if you were sick, you were sick. You just had to go to study hall or just, in my middle school it worked where someone would bring, your parent would have to come and get your homework,
Mm-hmm.
and someone would take notes for you that day.
Oh wow. No,
So-
that is not at all. It was just a number.
What if you're sick 11 times?
Right. I mean, obviously they make an exception if like you have some sort of. We had people, you know, who had horrible illnesses.
Yeah.
That took them out, and they work with you. But,
Okay.
like generally, because they were just hoping. Because like if you don't show up, that's like they consider that like oh it's a sick day or whatever. So
It's
like
called
they
an
were- they-
absence.
Right. They were just like okay, well we don't want to make you know
Mm-hmm.
sick days and absences were the same in my school.
That's weird to me,
Yeah.
because that just, I
I mean, you could get an excuse if you had a doctor's note.
yeah.
But it's like there was still a finite number. Even in college, these are 3 different states of schools that I'm talking about. So that's why it's weird to me that it's not the way for you.
Yeah.
But even in college, it was like we had, I think it was somewhere like 2 absences.
Did you go to public schools besides college?
Yes.
I went to
College
private
was
schools.
private.
I went to private schools.
College
All
was
through
private
life.
for
Okay.
me. And
But
then-
you still had, well, that I've never been to college, so
right. So
that
my,
might be standard.
Yeah, my college was like two absences total per semester. That's all you got. And if
That's
you kept,
terrible.
If you kept missing more, then it would just knock off your grade.
What?
Yeah, it would knock off a certain percentage.
That's
off your grade.
stupid. If you have an other obligation or you're sick, they should just work with you and you just...
They do. Obviously, I'm not saying period, but I'm saying in general.
That's dumb. I don't like that.
Like, obviously, if you have a family issue, then they have a review board that goes over it, and they're just like, yeah, we're going to make sure that you don't, you know what.
The
But anyway,
school system is so outdated. I hate it.
the point I was trying to make
Sorry.
was that my parents treated those days as if they collected over time. And like so every year
No.
every year was like we get 10 absences, let's just say, because I can't remember what the actual number is. I got appendicitis, as we talked about. I was back in school 2 days later.
What?
Because at that point my parents were like, well, or can you walk? Go back to school because we can't afford you, because what happens if you get sick? I was sick. You know, and so every time I would get sick, my parents would be like, are you really sick? Yes, Mom, I'm really sick.
Clearly.
They give us these days for this reason.
That's why they're called sick days.
Right, and she's like, no, well, you have to be, like, I had to convince her. Like, even if I was feeling terrible, I had to dial it up to 11 just to convince her that I could not go to school. And look, if I ever become a parent someday, I will be one of those parents that makes sure my kid stays out of school for the benefit of everyone. I don't want to get everyone sick.
Right.
I'm not worried that they're going to miss what knowledge or whatever. That's fine. They can make it up. But, like, I don't know. I never understood my parents' mentality about just, like...
I feel like that's just bad parenting.
You know?
Because if your kid's
Thanks,
sick...
Dylan. Thanks for attacking my parents.
If your kid's sick, don't send him to school. Because he's going to get everybody else sick, and he's going to feel miserable. So... It's
not a good time. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I mean, I could never understand that. They were just like, if you're, like, it was almost as if I was showing them how sick I was, and they're like, well, are you sure you want to use one of these sick days? What happens if you're sick in the future? It's like, I'm sick right now.
I was the type of kid in middle school with sick stuff where everyone thought I was a fake.
Yeah.
I was a fraud. Because I would be out of school a lot for reasons we will get into on the childhood episode of this podcast, which seems like it's never going to come out.
No.
But no, I was out of school a lot, but I also was sick a lot. And I wasn't like super sick all the time. I would just have like weird symptoms to the point where teachers and staff would just think I was faking it. Because I would go to the nurse a lot because either my stomach was hurting or I had a headache. And now I realize that's because I had a lot of anxiety when I was a kid, and still do. But I didn't know that, so the way that I would deal with it is I would just internalize it, and that would come out in my stomach being upset or my head hurting. So I would go to the nurse for that, and they'd like see that I have no symptoms, like my temperature was fine, and I could go to the bathroom and everything. But now I realize that it wasn't good. But yeah, they would occasionally send me home just because I was like, listen, I can't do it. But there was one time that I remember that was real funny to me. It was like a boy who cried wolf scenario. Because I was in church. I went to a private school. We were in church for the day. And it's the most awkward thing in the world to try and excuse yourself in the middle of a mass. Because everyone looks at you. It's terrible. But like, I like got up in the middle of like everyone praying and tapped on my teacher's shoulder and was like, I don't feel well. I need to go. So she escorted me back to the one of the, I think it was like the assistant PE teacher or whatever, who hated me. And she was like, all right, let's go. My head was the reason I felt like it was a boy who cried wolf scenario was because I was getting dizzy. Like I was about to pass out. Like my vision was blurry and stuff. And I told them that and they were like, yeah, okay. So I went to the nurses and I was like, yeah, I cannot see. And they sent me home, but I felt like a real big ol' jerk.
No, I never went to the nurse when I was a kid because I have a lot of anxiety and like first asking if I can go to the nurse.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's bad.
Secondly, getting there and interacting with someone who I like don't even know. Like who is this nurse? I don't know. Like and trying to explain that, like, that to me was worse than just, like, I'll just sit here and sit with whatever I'm doing. But I definitely had a scenario once where I got physically injured in a PE class. And I didn't want to go then to the nurse because like PE is one of those classes growing up where like people really judge you in that class. I felt like
Yep.
for your physical ability, so I was like, I'll just walk it off. I'll shake it off. And then in my next class,
Hoo hoo hoo.
little Taylor Swift. But in my next class, which was a math class, like that, I used to be a huge math nerd when I was growing up. My teacher, I was like real close with her because I drove everybody crazy when I was a kid.
Me.
But my philosophy was if it's funny enough, then I won't get in trouble, you know?
Yeah.
So we were pretty tight, and then I said like, hey, I'm really like that allowed me to get over that anxiety to even ask to go to the nurse. I'm like, hey, I'm like real hurt. Can I go to the nurse? And she was like, sure. And I go to the nurse, and the nurse was like, oh, how convenient that you're coming here right now that school's about to end. And I'm like, this is not convenience.
No.
This is, I mean, it's convenience.
If you
in the regard of like, I don't have another class, sure, but like.
Yeah. I feel like if you were trying to get out of school, you would do it earlier in the day, not right when school was about to let out.
Right, that's such a, and like even the nurse's office was located further away from the bus stop than my math class was. So I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, I'm injured. Like I hurt my wrist, and I was like, my wrist hurts. I like, you know, it was. I just don't. This is the first time I'd interacted with her.
Yeah.
So she had no reason to believe that I was just some liar making up a story. This was, I didn't get any sort of benefit of the doubt. It was
She
just,
knew how kids worked.
Yeah, it was just a nurse who had enough that day.
She had enough. Going back to like kind of asking to go to the nurse
Yeah.
and talking to someone you don't really know. Luckily, I went to the same middle school that my sister did, and she's 4 years older than me. So everyone knew like of me.
Ooh,
That I was coming.
chosen one.
The chosen one. No, it's just because it was a small private school, so people knew, like, and my sister was popular, so they knew our
They
family.
had super high expectations for you.
Sure. No, they all hated me because they all loved my sister,
Right.
and you can't have it both ways. There was
Oh.
a couple teachers that liked me, and only one of them, of the teachers that liked me, they only liked me because they didn't have my sister, and that was pretty much it, because they didn't have my sister. And the one teacher that liked me that did have my sister really liked my sister, which was weird because most of the time they hated me because of that. But anyway, we also knew, the nurse was a family friend is what I was trying to get at, because she had her son was in the same grade that my sister was, so she knew of me, and we had a rapport where I'd come in and she'd be like, "You're not sick," and I'd be like, "Bitch," and then I would go home.
That's awesome. I had the same thing. My brother is just 1 year older than me, but no, my sister was 2 years. So we were all separated. My brother would go in and kind of like warm up the teachers of the school for a year. But I hardly had any of the same teachers as he did, because he was always in like AP classes, very high level courses, and I was just like, I'll take the basics. But I did have a couple teachers who had him before. And because he's such a perfect grade A student, like he was top of the class, almost not valedictorian, but like really close up there. And it was because of that, the teachers who I had that had him before always expected me to be like the perfect student, just like him. Which I was not a terrible student when it was certain subjects. Like I said, math was a subject that I was like a super whiz kid at, but now I couldn't do subtraction to save my life. Which is sad. I wish I had that skill back, because I always loved being a little math nerd. But anyway, so what happened is I would always, I would get the teachers that loved my brother, and then they'd be like kind of off put by me and how like he's not. This is not Andrew. This is not.
Oh no.
him. It really worked out for my sister, because by that point all the teachers were like, well, it's anybody's game at this point. You know?
Then your
It
sister
could be
comes
good,
in.
Could be bad.
Yep.
Who knows?
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's how it always works, and that's what. And it's the same way for even just my parents, because with my brother setting such a high standard of example, then comes me, and I'm just like barely skirting by in school, and they're like, "What are we doing wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing.
I'm fine.
It's all good."
I love that. This podcast continues to like dredge up middle school memories that I have suppressed,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure I like it.
Well, as of your age currently, that's a big portion of your life.
Well, yeah, but I've suppressed a lot of it for reasons I don't get into on the childhood episode of this podcast.
That ever happened.
Yup. I feel like we should just record that also tonight.
Yeah, you think so?
Since we're here.
Just while we're doing it.
We'll figure it out.
How many more minutes do we have for this one?
Well, we could call it a day here. We've been going for like
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Let's do that.
So we've also forgot to do like the iTunes stuff at the top.
Oh, you're right.
So you do that now.
Hey guys, hi everyone. Scott here. In case you forgot who was talking. Here's the thing, this podcast is very new. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you.
Go on.
I will. This podcast is very new. And we have a lot of... we need your help with reviews. If you go to iTunes, just give us a nice review and rating.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Actually, I'm going to take away that word nice. Doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a nice review or rating.
Just give us a review.
If you've listened 5 episodes in and you think this is the worst podcast you've ever listened to,
I'm going to go on the record right now. I think this is our worst episode yet.
yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
It was a fun episode, I thought.
No, that's terrible.
All right. If you want to
Look at how little we talked about.
That's true. If you want to go on iTunes right now and just tell us how terrible this episode was,
Please do.
on a scale of 1 star to 5 stars. Yeah.
What we had an idea last time
Mhm.
for a thing that they could do, but I don't remember what it was.
I think I know. I don't know if this was last time, but one time we told them to just go to a random name generator site and type in whatever
Oh yeah.
popped out. I thought that was a fun one.
Oh, we were asking them to. Oh, that's right. Because I said review this episode, and we were like, well, you can't review an episode. You just review the podcast. So
Oh, yeah.
you're saying every week go
Every
back
week.
and do another review.
Review it. So this one, you might change your 5 star from last week down to a 1 star.
And hey, that's fair. Just any review helps. It's like if you dislike a video on YouTube.
This is something that we should clear up right now, guys. If you're one of those people who goes to subscribes to a channel that you hate, just a thumbs down their videos, right?
You're still helping.
You're helping them.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is nothing. I would
Yeah.
say.
Don't click on their. Don't even think about
Don't even
their
think about
content.
Yeah. I would say potentially the worst thing you could do is be subscribed but don't engage at all.
Yeah.
But even then, I think just being a subscriber, that's people get brand deals based off of around that number as well.
That's true.
So
People
look,
see-
just ignore them. They're
Yeah.
like bullies.
If they don't exist, then they don't exist.
Mm-hmm. I like how, in most cases, the people who subscribe and thumbs down, or just leave nasty comments, those are the bullies. But I'm asking these bullies to treat the YouTube channel as a bully and just ignore everything they do, and that'll hurt them in some capacity.
Just ignore everyone, and you'll get through life just fine.
Just treat everyone as if they are a bully.
Yes.
That seems to build healthy relationships.
Yes.
Fantastic. 5 stars.
10 out of 10.
Nah, 5 stars.
10 out of 10.
You can't do that.
It's the same thing mathematically.
Right, but iTunes.
If you do
is
2
a
reviews, write 2 5-star
fine.
reviews.
You'd have to get 2 iTunes accounts, though.
Well, if you're watching this podcast and you don't have that amount of commitment, I don't want you here.
Mm-mm.
Is this film on your USB cord?
Probably.
Everybody look to your left.
It's a very new one.
Where can people find you?
Hi, everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Scott Nicewonder. And iTunes. Nope.
iTunes.
And just search iTunes for Scott Nicewonder. You'll probably find
The
this
Nerd Sync
and another
podcast,
podcast.
yep. How about iTube?
You can find, obviously we have YouTube videos over
MeTube.
at youtube.com/nerdsyncproductions, or nerdsync.tv is probably.
Or if you're lazy at nerdsync.com, go there.
Nope, we not on that. It costs like $3,000 to buy that URL, so.
Is that a Patreon goal?
No, but it should be.
Yeah, it really should be.
Oh man, what a great Patreon goal. Speaking of which, you can support the NerdSync Patreon, which does these episodes. We have too many calls to actions here. Tell everyone where you can find you.
Twitter.com/OrumAlexander. How do you go about petitioning to get someone's account closed so that I can have at Orum?
Oh. You can just get a bunch of people to tweet at them?
Okay, everybody tweet at Twitter and tell them to
No, a tweet at that account.
tweet at Twitter. No, they're not active. That's the problem.
Oh.
They don't do anything.
Well, then you probably just need to know somebody at Twitter.
hey, does anybody listen to this podcast work at Twitter? Can we get Scott verified and get me my
that's the number
actual
one
thing?
thing that I need is to get me verified. NerdSync is verified on Facebook. We're verified on YouTube. Both of those, I needed to know somebody.
Mm.
I don't know anybody at Twitter, so if anyone has a connection, let me know.
Who knows?
Twitter's the only one that I actually need to be verified. Like,
Yeah,
genuinely
because of all the parody
need
accounts.
to be. Not like it's not an ego thing. It's just there's so
Help.
many fake Scott. There's one
Yeah.
today that just says like
Not Scott.
yeah,
Yeah,
just not
I saw
Scott.
that. No, it's like not Scott or something. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Who cares? It's fine. Also YouTube, showwithissues.com,
Boy, we gotta like start to truncate some of these.
patreon.com/Aurum. Go to Google Plus/Aurum Chaos. Go to my Facebook. Don't do that. I don't have a Facebook.
Follow me on Pinterest for
Go
all my
to-
things.
I think I do have a Pinterest. I have a Tumblr that I don't use anymore. It's like got season 1 branding on
And
it.
guys, this is real important. Make sure to follow me on Vine. It's just at
Whoops.
Scott. At Scott Nicewater on Vine. Dylan, you want to do the honors?
All right. We did it, Reddit. I haven't said that in a while. Let's see what the chat's up to. What's going on, chat?
Hey everyone, was
We're-
that episode real bad? Dylan seems to think it's bad.
I think the middle part was pretty bad, but
was
the
the
beginning
middle
and the end was good.
It wasn't
I don't know. I just felt like the what were we even talking about?
Um,
Let's see.
we talked about Timothy Mullins or whatever.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, I think it was just when I asked how your day was, and when we started talking about my throat problem, but then that transitioned into like middle school and sick stuff, which was good. We're a little quiet. Yeah, we will be. We're both on the quietest setting of the mics because it was an acceptable episode. Thanks, Anthony.
I appreciate that.
'Cause we're gonna boost it in post for quality. Remember, we're releasing next Wednesday. We're gonna fix it in post.
And we're gonna have some sweet music.
Hell yeah. All right. How many corn dogs you want?
Plural?
Yeah.
Probably just the one.
One. Okay.
Why? How many are you eating?
2 or 3.
Good lord.
They don't fill you up very fast.
Well, then I'll take 2.
Okay. I'll make 4 then. 2 for each.
I can't see the chat from here, so I'm just gonna assume you guys are saying really great things about me.
Put it up on yacht. Put it up on jet.
All right.
I gotta start the oven. I wanted to put your collar back on.
Chaos.
Showwithissues.com.
You think that's faster to type than Aurum Chaos?
Well, mine autofills, so. Go.
1 second, everyone. Online the Overwatch logo.
Yep. Eat all the corn dogs. What do you mean?
Oh,
What?
you guys are saying really great things about Scott.
Corn dog? I hardly know that dog.
I love you all so much.
What's this? The Dylan Eats Corn Dogs Twitter is tweeting things. That's always a good sign. Look at this cat.
Hey, if any of you guys run any of the fake Scott Twitter accounts, you need to start tweeting at Twitter specifically to get me verified with you as evidence.
This is the reason. Oh boy. Let's check out my email. How's this sound, buddy boys? Eep. Smells like nuts in here.
You want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. Hamilton's tomorrow. Exciting.
These are wasabi soy nuts, and they are my lifeblood.
Exciting. Is that an eggcorn?
Oh, probably.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Just a pun. You better be frightened.
Someone saying you're too close?
Yes. That's Anthony. Is it? I love these comments. New hot comment on my Power Girl video. Is this dude gay? Hell yeah.
To make ends meet. M-E-E-T or M-E-A-T?
I guess M-E-E-T.
Why do you say I guess?
Because I've never thought about it before.
That's correct.
I don't like
But it makes
YouTube's...
sense because you could bring home the bacon by making ends meet.
Shut up. I don't like how YouTube's new bell notification system. I don't like it. They changed it.
What do you mean?
They changed it.
What do you mean?
You know.
Ding that bell.
No, not that. The notifications that you get for comments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it to where, like, if you click on one, it just brings you to the video instead of getting context for it. I don't like that.
Fair enough. Here's a classic one. And it actually revolves around a word that many people haven't heard of.
John?
When people say your point, if your point doesn't matter, they would say your point is...
Moot?
Yes. Many people have not heard of the word moot. So they say your point is mute. Which makes sense, but is incorrect.
Disgusting. What's the poll? This is a lightsaber. I'm gonna like your video. I liked it. Not gonna comment though.
How dare you? You're only helping or hurting them.
You've never heard anyone say that ever.
Nip it in the butt.
Who says that?
Nobody says nip it in the butt.
No one says nip it in the butt. Is this a Wikipedia? Oh, no, it's just
No,
an
this
Eggcorn
is
dedicated website.
Yep.
Perfect.
Some of these are just misspellings.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm dead inside.
I like this of opposable versus aposable. Like, I have opposable thumb and
I have
opposable
opposable
thumbs.
Yep. Interesting.
Oh, that's great.
What's up, James Darkos? He said, hi, Scott and Dylan. There's a cat over here. I don't think you can see her, but she's real cute. Your gym teacher told the class he was dead inside. I want to meet that man. Good joke.
This one as a kid, I would say, because again, the alternative. Well, neither of them made sense to me, but it sounds exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Pay per view versus
Pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
That was one. That was one that I didn't understand.
Mm-mm.
As a chillin'. Oh, I could probably put the corn dogs in now. Who's ready to eat some corn dogs?
Well, this one's just redundant. But instead of Pied Piper, it's Pipe Piper. It's like, you already know he's a piper. Oh man, I really enjoy this one. Because it's one of those that makes perfect sense. But I've never heard in my entire life. So, I would really like to get your perspective, or your point of view, or your point of you, if you will.
I hate that.
Your point of view. Of you. Instead of point of view.
I want more Steak and Shake coupons.
Woo!
There's only one good one for me anyway.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
another one of those like fancy Steak and Shake meal things.
Oh, wow.
You get everything. What happened to my Roku?
Wow.
Who the hell broke my Roku? Who's
Uh-oh.
doxing me?
I can see the live chat. You think I can't?
You're mistaken.
Scott, he's gone. If you're being held captive, blink twice. Oh no. Gotta choose my next things carefully because Dylan is staring at me. Hi, Dylan. How's it going, Dylan?
You couldn't have made it more obvious.
Should you be up this late on a school night?
Shut up, Dad. Eat my nads, Dads. These accessories to my Spider-Woman cosplay have been sitting here for months, and I don't know what to do with them.
Instead of saying run rampant, you say you run rapid.
Run rapid. That's
I-
not even close.
I really hate that.
What the? Who are these people that are saying these things?
No idea.
Has Scott ever cursed? Is he one of those people like he's
Wait,
one of those
really?
people I could see never cursing? He's cursed before.
I only do it if it's really funny, or it doesn't have to be really funny, but if I think it enhances a joke, or if I'm quoting either a line or a song. Those are my
Yeah.
rules.
I just curse for filler words like most people.
I gotta figure this out because they're telling me that I've been saying something wrong my entire life.
What is it?
Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Okay, Dylan. Well, obviously, I feel like you would get the intention here. The phrase, to say one's piece. How do you spell peace in that sentence?
Is it not P-I? E-C-E?
It is.
Oh, okay.
But like, in that.
Well, you're real bad at this, aren't you?
No, but like to say one's piece.
I see where you're coming from, but I've never thought that.
What does it mean to say one's piece? Like a piece
Like
of
your
something.
piece of a conversation.
But like.
Like if you have a cake and you cut it in pieces,
Mm-hmm.
you're giving them your piece of the cake.
But I always
Your
figured that
piece of the
people only say that if like you're about to die. Yeah, like to say your piece. And so
No.
I thought it's like.
That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes.
We're just saying.
Everybody has those days.
It makes sense either way for me. I'm
Okay.
not an idiot.
Yeah, it makes sense too, but you're just an idiot. You know what's one of the scariest things in the world?
Getting electrically shocked by an outlet.
Yeah, but also when you plug something in and you can see the electricity spark up as you're plugging it in.
It's no fun. Where's the plug? There it is. I'm gonna ban you because or I'm just gonna time you out.
Why? What are they doing?
Saying Trump over and over again. It's annoying. Hearing Scott curse would be like hearing a teacher curse. Go watch the video on Punisher's logo. He says the fuck word in it.
We bleep it out though.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We definitely bleep it out.
What is this podcast stream
But
for
again,
slash about?
that was me quoting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we have a podcast called The Online Podcast. We just recorded episode 5. Now this is the post show where we wait for corn dogs to be made.
The post show brought to you by Frozen Corn Dogs.
State Fair branded frozen corn dogs.
Mhm.
The conversational podcast starring Scott Nicewander and Dylan. Hey! She's so dead set on this cup. I moved her and her gaze did not waver. What do you mean, what? Exclamation point, exclamation point. I mean, question mark, exclamation point. What's that
Sorry,
called?
I'm sorry. Explanation.
Explanation point.
You're talking an interrobang?
Yeah, that's it. How are you never informed of this? Because technically the podcast isn't released yet. We've been
Right.
recording them live.
But none of them are available anywhere but here.
Yeah. Well, some of them are on most of them are on the Sidekick channel.
Half.
Half.
There's
Yeah, I
only
guess
two
half.
over there. And two
No, there's
here.
3. The one with Ricky's up there.
Oh, you uploaded it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. Pancake sausage
ever make it
dogs.
Public? I don't think it's public.
Thought I did. I've had a kolache, if that's what you're referring to. Those are great. Oh, that's oops. Oh no.
Here's a classic one. Slightly comic related, slightly just supernatural related. Will-O the Wisp.
No. That one was one that confused me just because I didn't know what the actual word was.
Right.
I just knew the sounds that made the word.
Mm-hmm. That's a character in Marvel?
Probably. It's a Pokemon move too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Oh, it's still private.
I recognized it. Yeah, that's what I thought so. I recognized it from a little show called So Weird.
So weird and wacky.
Do you remember that show at all?
Nope.
You're a young boy.
Nope.
It had, I can't remember the main girl's real name.
Nope.
But it also had Eric Von Detten.
Nope.
In it.
Sorry guys, I can't see the chat right now.
I can see the chat. They're saying, are you caught up on the CW shows?
No.
No.
So don't say anything.
Um,
I'm caught up on Supergirl, that's it.
I'm not even caught up on Supergirl.
Also, Supergirl might be like the best show now.
You're very liberal with like giving things the best show, because I remember you saying like Shield might be my favorite show, or like
Well, at the
Agent Carter
time,
might be the best show.
I'm pretty sure Agent Carter is still my favorite show.
Yeah,
But at the time, Shield was just doing real well.
yeah.
But no, yeah, not. I wasn't saying. I'm saying of the CW shows,
Right.
I might like Supergirl the best.
Sure. Yeah, I think I might be there with you.
Spoilers: the Flash goes zoomy zoomy zoom.
Thanks, guys. I think Flash is one of those shows where it's not bad, but I feel like it's highly overrated.
And it's also all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one night it could be terrible, one night it could be great.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl. Well, I haven't seen all of Supergirl season 1, but Supergirl season 2 has been consistently pretty great.
Yeah, not bad. But yeah, I feel like Flash is one of those shows where everyone goes, it's the best comic book show, TV show ever made.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's not.
It's good. It's fine. There are some decently good episodes. There are some real good episodes in there.
Legends
there are
is
also
really
some
good.
real terrible ones. And I'm so sick of them using the same, like, 2 points of contention and everything. What?
Owen's here.
Oh. But like the main 2 things that they use as conflict in Flash are, oh look, another speed guy,
Gotta go faster.
right? And that's the solution, is gotta go faster. But then they also have now started really, really just fully embracing the idea of time travel mistakes, and then he just keeps
Yeah.
going back and forth and back. It's just like, yeah, all right.
Arrow's fine.
Mhm.
Legends is great now.
Is Riverdale any good?
What's that?
Haven't seen it. That's
Oh.
that's the Archie
Oh.
show. That where they made all the characters real sexy.
That makes sense.
Mm.
You said that like I was a horror film villain.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to inform Scott of your presence.
What's the best show ever made, according to us?
the best show ever made?
Ever made.
I would
Not
have to
comic book show.
To say that, I would have to see every single show ever made.
All right, what's the best show that you've ever seen?
The best show I've ever seen. The best show I've ever seen.
Yes.
So, like, not my favorite one, but the best one I've ever seen.
Okay, I don't know.
I say those are two different
All right,
things.
fine. Then both. I don't know. What's your
Both-
favorite show?
I mean, my favorite show is probably Agent Carter,
Okay.
but the best show is
Like
not
ever,
Agent Carter.
like you've ever seen?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so. My favorite, not the best.
Right.
Best. It's probably a Netflix show, I would
Yeah.
imagine. Those are
Ooh,
good.
Netflix